Can you read my shirt? Gotta be able to read the old shirt, you know what I'm saying? Welcome back to Rustic Rimfire 22, guys. How's it going, guys? Back out to range today. We got the Savage Access Pro 2 chambered 400 Legend. I had this on the channel here about a week or so ago, but we're back out to do some testing with it. We got the Winchester 215 grain power points. We're going to try those. And then I went ahead and made up some more. Got the Hornady SST 195 grain. As these right here. And we got those, I got them made in 2 different loads. And then I also made some of the, I took the factory bullet, the 215 grain soft nose there, and put changed the powder behind them. That seemed to work pretty good last time, so we're going to give that a try again. The factory loads, I believe, yeah, 2250 for the velocity at the muzzle, but we got the Garmin out, so we're going to give that a try and test that theory. Make sure that they're actually 2250 or better. See how accurate they are. Then we're going to test them against mine, see what kind of velocity we get out of those. Just real quick about the gun again. We got the Burris 4 to 14 by 42 scope. This is the full field E1. Got the Dash lift kit in the bolt. Just a tip muzzle brake. This is a Fab Defense bipod. Then my PQP rest. Other than that, it's pretty much, this is pretty much all factory gun. But you know, I did change that. It's way easier. I don't know if you guys can see that real good, but I mean, the lift on this thing is just crazy smooth. Other than that, we'll get the Garmin started up here, and we're going to start with some factory loads just to kind of get a baseline, and then we'll test mine again against them. So hang on a second, I'll get you on the scope cam, and I'll get you downrange. All right, guys, got you on 100 yards. Got a chronograph on. Let's see what we can do with the factory load. See what the velocities look like. $21.65. It was 22.01. Get a third shot, and then we'll try a different round. Not as good as I'd like to see out of it. Did better last time. Let's try the the 195 grain ST. These are Hornadays. We get 3 rounds in. Re-zero the chronograph. Alright, here goes our first shot with the 195 grain Hornaday. Out there was 2,546 feet per second. So about 300 feet per second faster than the 215 grain factory load. That looks good, right on target. 2,535 feet per second. I think that was me. I pulled it a little bit. That's all right. Still looks like it's still a good group. Not too bad. That one was 2,488 feet per second. Switch out to the 195 with a little more powder, just to put a couple more grains of powder in them, just to see what they do. Redo the chronograph, re-zero that. Alright, let's see what kind of speed and accuracy we get out of these. 2607. Looks like the same hole. 2553. 2541.9. Let's go back to the originals that I had made. The 215 grain PowerPoint. Try 3 of those. And then we'll get the target and measure up some groups. It's raining like no other out here. Alright, here we go. A little low. I did take one out, so we were zeroed for this last week, but I just took a quick out, so it's probably going to stay a little bit low. Maybe. Let's see here. Alright, first one, that was a 2316 feet per second. So a little bit faster than the factory loads. Same bullet. Same hole. 2299.5 feet per second. Ooh, that one dropped out. 2372.9 feet per second. Wow, I can't believe that one fell so bad. I don't think that was me. Let's try one more. Put one more down there just to make sure that was me or the round. $24.09. What other one did real well? A 195 with 31. Alright, I got 2 of those left. Let's try those. See if those 2 drop out as well. Or if it was just those particular rounds, or if this gun is just a little too big for this scope. Won't be the first time. I'm going to put it right back on that center bullseye. See where we're at here. Here we go. I'm going to say it's those 2 rounds. Try one more. Yeah. 2487. I'm going to say it was those rounds. I think them 2 just dropped out. Alright guys, well, it's raining and we're done with these, so I'm going to go down and get this target up. We'll get it measured up. We'll get back to the house and we'll go from there. Alright guys, we're back at the house here. Got the groups measured up for the 400 Legend. First factory group up here. Went a little wild. A lot of wind and raining and whatever. I'm not trying to make excuses, but these factory loads, I went back and looked at my first ones. Had the same thing, kind of a little bit everywhere. 1.150 on that one. This one went 2.056. So I'm going to say that's probably somewhere in the ball game for a factory load, somewhere between 1.25 inches and 2 inches. You know, would it help if it wasn't raining? Sure. Would it help if it wasn't windy? Probably. But, you know, if you're out hunting or whatever, it's not always ideal conditions. So this is what we need to know, right? So anyway, and my next groups was down here. This was shot 1, shot 2, and shot 3. And that was with the Hornady 195 SST with little gunpowder. For that group there, went 1.114. We come back after we shot the rest and put 2 more rounds in up here, which was shot 1 and shot 2, which actually was part of 3, but that was my last 2, so I couldn't do a third one on that, but we was looking at 0.804. This here is overall, so this was both groups with that as widest point from here to here was 1.628. So I'm really happy with those, honestly. You know, that's still not too bad. 1.5-inch group for straight well cartridge 400. So, but then we come, I can't remember if I did this one next or this one. I think it was this one. 1.095. Again, this was the 195 SST Hornady with little gun. The only difference between this bullet and this bullet was about 2 grains of powder between this one and this one. The speeds on them are... Alright, so I just dug my chronograph out here real fast. And on the factory loads, we had average of 2185, max of 2201, minimum of 2165. I believe it called for 2250, so you're looking at almost 100 feet, 90 feet per second slower, 95. On the minimum side, then 49 feet per second on the max side. So they're close, but not quite. Let's see. We got a standard deviation of 15. Our energy was 2278. So that's not bad. That's not bad for a factory load. All right, let's go to the next one here real quick. 3 shots. Okay, this is the first 3 groups here of the Hornady SST. Max was 2546, minimum 2488.7, average 2523. So that would give us standard deviation of 24.9 with 2,856 foot-pounds of energy. So they're definitely getting there. That was these were the slower of them. All right, and then we got the 215 grain with the little gunpowder. I don't know what happened to these 2 down here. I'm gonna assume it was those 2 rounds, because these ones were doing good last week when I took this out before. That was these same loads right here. These 3 went 0.818, 971, and 0.8 to open up to 3 inches. I'm going to assume something went sideways in those ones there, so we might go ahead and build another 4 or 5 of them and retest these just to see. Maybe we'll put a little extra powder in them or something and get them up a little bit. But so those were 2349 average, max of 2409, minimum 2299. So that's not terrible. Standard deviation 43.8 on 4 shots. 2635.9 foot-pounds of energy. So definitely can get the job done. All right, let's see. Okay, then we had these three down here. So it seems like we're speeding them up. They're staying a little tighter. Got 2567.6 as an average, 2607 for a max, 2541 for the minimum, 2854 foot-pounds of energy. That's what I'm talking about. That's a lot for a 195 grain bullet. But all right, so we got that. Okay, and then we got our last two. This one up, these two up here, basically the same as the first three on the same round. 2517.6 for an average, 2548 as a max, and 2487 for a minimum. Let's see what kind of power we're putting out. 2744 foot-pounds. So that ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, guys. Well, I think that's about all I got for you. Like I said, we'll get a couple more of these made up. If I do some more of these, we'll do them in with different grain powder. Maybe we'll put a little more in them. Do one with a little bit more. Do one with a little bit less. And see where it's at. You know, if we're going in the right direction, going up or going down. We're going to make some more of these with the 215 grain Winchester soft nose. We'll make some more of those. See what happened here. Not happy about that. As far as the factory loads, they are what they are, I guess. As long as they stay, you know, within closer to, I'd like them to see them closer to 1 inch. 2 inches, that's getting out of control. But right now, like I said, for a factory load, that's about all you can get, as far as I know, other than seeing Winchester came out at 300 grain, but ain't nobody going to be using that. I've seen other guys using it, testing it. Wasn't too impressed. So, but anyway, all right, guys. I hope you had a good weekend. Have a good week, and we'll catch you next time.